Hello, folks. Today is Friday, January 6th, 2022. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino. No, it's 2023. First one of the year. I screwed it up. God. So, everybody, how were your holidays? How was your new year? Good. I feel like we should do like a Blue's Clues. Like, I listen. Let me know if you found that weird in the comments. Believe it or not, even though it's the first week of January, I actually got some good stuff to talk about, a good amount of news. I thought it was going to be dead, but we got some stuff to jump into about. The first thing, not to be negative, but we do have a new look at the day before, and it is raising questions. Now, the day before, for those of you that don't know, is a game, full disclosure, gameranx made a video about it a couple years back because we thought the concept looked very cool. It's kind of like a mix of The Division with The Last of Us. It's like open world, MMO, New York City scavenging and shooting and cooperating with other players and dealing with a zombie apocalypse. It seemed ambitious. Graphically, it looked really cool. It really kind of caught people's eyes. And now we have a new look at the game finally after it really going completely dark for a while. And this new look just ain't looking so hot. A lot of people, if you look at comments and reactions and stuff, you're saying, is this a downgrade type of thing, a graphical downgrade? I will say that it just doesn't look like totally what we were expecting. From the third-person shooting to the environments, everything here just kind of, to me, screams like a DayZ ripoff clone, which I feel like we already have so many of those. I'm still... I don't want to shit on a game completely until I play it. I make sure I play things. So I am still excited to jump in and probably make a before you buy video or something like that. The new trailer was revealed during like an NVIDIA thing when they announced like new RTX stuff. And it's worth noting that the day before now has a release date. It's March 1st, 2023. So while we are skeptical here, we're still going to give it a shot. And I'm sure there's more to be revealed soon. The trailer was very brief, but I'm really hoping there's more to this one. I'm going to start off January 2023 being optimistic. Another weird news, a big thing that caught our eye that you may not have seen too much of is a new game featuring time travel. Yes, I would say that games with good time travel mechanics come few and far between. We need more cowboy western games, and we need more time travel games. And more vampire games too. And you know what? All right, I'll stop there. But yeah, this time travel game is actually a survival game, so you might lose me a little bit there because I'm not the biggest on survival games. But this game is called Grand Emprise Time Travel Survival. It's a PC game, and the trailer, as you see here, it looks pretty cool. It's definitely different. It's a survival game, so you're doing the crafting, you're building up a base. It's like a big open world, of course, the stuff you'd expect, but with a bit of a time travel spin on it. So this is just another thing to keep an eye on. We got a lot of things to talk about to keep an eye on, but yeah, we thought this one was a little bit different. If you want to check it out, the trailer and everything else I talk about during the show will all, of course, be linked in the description down below. Next up, we got some very small updates for Star Wars games, specifically Ubisoft and Massive's next big Star Wars game. Massive, of course, are the people behind games like Tom Clancy's Division, and the creative director of Ubisoft has tweeted out saying that 2023 is going to be a big year for their Star Wars project. So I'd say that it's pretty safe to assume we're going to get a real good, proper look at it and see what the deal really is with this thing. I also want to link a report from Insider Gaming that suggests, from insider sources, take it with a grain of salt, that this is going to be a fully open, planetary hopping exploration type thing. They actually compared it kind of to Starfield and No Man's Sky, where there's a bunch of planets, a fully customizable character that you set on your own path in the world of Star Wars. So that's ambitious. I say ambitious, but also like we had that back in the day with OG Star Wars Galaxies, but hey. Very excited to see what comes of this. That's what we know for now. I do want to point out there was a news story a couple weeks back when we went on break that they are looking for playtesters to check out this game. So there is definitely a substantial game in the works, at least sort of. So I'm really hoping that soon we see more. I know they said 2023 is the year. I'm hoping, maybe this winter we get a little glimpse, a little tease, a little morsel, something. We talked about the news story a couple months back where a word on the street is that they want a new Star Wars game every 6 months, like LucasArts or whatever, which seems like a lot. I love Star Wars games, man, but do you want one every 6 months if like half of them are bad? Slow down. I feel like, did we learn from the movies? Or like...
Say even like one a year is pushing.
Yeah, one good one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Super Bombad Racing 2. Jedi Power Battles 2. Terraskazi 2. There's a lot of games I can make a sequel to.
Yeah.
If you got to fill it out,
better or something.
dude, if you got to do a game every 6 months, you got to pull from like the Disney vault, okay? Hey, next up, this episode is brought to you by our longtime sponsor, Raycon. Now, these are the wireless earbuds that are priced just right. Quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands, but they look, feel, and sound better than ever. I use their earbuds all the time here. They stall it for 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life thanks to the handy-dandy charging case. Slips right in your pocket and you're good to go, and they're comfy. I wear them for long periods of time for like work meetings and stuff on Skype or Zoom. And what's nice is that they come with like a set of optimized gel tips to get the right fit for your ear. So that way they don't fall out, but they're comfy and they're like weightless. They pair up nice and simple with Bluetooth. They have smart compatibility, 3 different sound profiles. You activate them just by tapping and holding the left one for 3 seconds. And they come in a variety of different styles and colorways. New year, new you maybe? You want to get a fresh pair to crush some podcasts while you work out or something? Go check them out, and it helps the show. There's a reason these things have over 50,000 5-star reviews. Just click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/gameranx for 15% off your Raycon purchase. Again, that's buyraycon.com/gameranx, and thanks to Raycon for sponsoring our videos. Next up, of course, with it being 2023 or the start of 2023, we're getting little glimpses of what's to come this year with all these companies teasing things. Konami came out and has teased, and I quote, new developments for familiar series and just some unannounced new projects. So of course, people have run wild with that, with Konami heads suggesting, we're bringing back some old series, some new updates and stuff. Everybody thinks instantly Metal Gear Solid, right? We've talked for years about potential resurgence of Metal Gear Solid, whether it be a remake, a million things. So of course the headline has run with that. I've seen even people come at me saying, Jake, they announced a new Metal Gear game. They did not. Take it easy. What we know now is that Konami is teasing more. I'd say take that with, some skepticism because there may be more Silent Hill projects to be revealed. They have other properties like Castlevania, Bomberman, etc. That could come from that, or it could just be an update to, I don't know, one of their soccer game or football games or a pachinko machine or some bullshit. I don't know. I personally am not getting too ramped up yet about any of that stuff because I just want to see more glimpses of their Silent Hill projects. It is nice that they are farming out to other studios. Bloober Team did go on record recently stating that they feel the pressure, definitely, but they said that they're not messing with the story or anything like that. They're just modernizing the graphics and some of the gameplay. So that's good to hear, but we just have to wait and see, which is like my other catchphrase at this point. On the flip side for you JRPG folks, Atlas has come out swinging, stating that they are coming out with a bunch of new projects that have not been announced yet for 2023. During a holiday release statement type thing, they said 2023, we start the remastered releases of Persona 3, Persona 4, of course, and we are also preparing several new unannounced titles. Please look forward to it. What's it going to be? Persona 6? No, there's a lot that they could do. So yeah, there's definitely that to chew on. And also another company working on unannounced projects is Bungie. Of course, Bungie last year was acquired by Sony. They already had publicly stated that they had a bunch of projects in the works, but we know that they had previously said that they were bringing one new intellectual property, one new thing to Sony by 2025, but according to Video Games Chronicle, Bungie's creative lead has gone on record saying that the studio is working on a number of unannounced projects, specifically with Sony, which comes as no surprise. I think it is nice to see that they hit the ground running after the ink was dried. Projects are in the works. To go personal opinion for a second, this is exciting for me as someone who really likes Bungie and appreciates Bungie's place in video game history and how they build games and first-person shooters specifically. But I'm not a Destiny guy, so I'm excited to see what else they can cook up for me. I'm just a greedy gamer. Me. What do you got for me? Anyway. Also, in other news, something you'll love to see, I'm a big fan of it, Hitman 3, or really the newer Hitman games, are now consolidated officially into one Hitman game. Hitman 3 now includes Hitman 1 and 2, and the whole thing is just going to be called World of Assassination, which is perfect. It sucks if you just bought Hitman 1 and 2 a week or so ago, but this is going to mean that the original Hitman 1 and 2 are going to be delisted and they're not going to be standalone things, and now the full package, the whole newer modern Hitman experience, is going to be under one roof. It does make it kind of confusing, but if you just jump in, basically what it means is you're getting a bunch of game. It makes way more sense for this. You love to see it. I like IO Interactive making moves, and it kind of finally completes that whole modern Hitman vision that they started with. CES is cooking along, lots of crazy tech. You want bendable screens, foldable screens, TVs that are just wireless and run on batteries. We've seen a wild bunch of shit this year, but Sony did, of course, have their big press conference, and we got a bit of news. The coolest thing, I think personally, is Project Leonardo. They announced their own accessibility controller. For those of you that don't know, Xbox a few years ago put out an accessibility controller, a modular controller designed around enabling people with disabilities to play a video game. Everybody has certain types of different disabilities or different requirements, and both the Xbox controller and now Sony's newly announced Project Leonardo come with a bunch of different things to attach to a controller to cater to make it easier for you to play a game, which is just an absolute win overall. It's really nice to see them doing this. They collaborated with Able Gamers, Stack Up, a bunch of accessibility research organizations and consultants. And these types of controllers are really significant because, like, say you can only use one hand, or say you have, some motor function disability. And this type of controller is significant, just like to bring it down to like layman's terms. So say you have a disability, say you can't play with your left hand, or you have limited motor function in your right hand, or any number of different things. Of course, these types of controllers allow you to mix and match different parts, to change inputs, to just make it easier to hit the button, create the input, and do the thing in the game. Hopefully this comes along soon. As of right now, Sony hasn't given like a release date or a price or anything, but I think it is a very good development, and now Sony and Xbox are putting in the work to help everybody play games with accessibility and stuff like that. Now Nintendo's got to show up. I think people are kind of like console warring, where it's like, oh, the Xbox one's cooler, the PlayStation one's cooler. That shit doesn't matter. More people can play is a good thing, and now Nintendo step up. Nintendo notoriously, especially with disability type stuff, usually doesn't step up, so maybe now they'll finally feel the heat. Also at CES, good old Jimbo Ryan, head of PlayStation, has come out and said that the shortage is over. He has declared the PlayStation shortage, the PS5 shortage, officially done. He said that December 2022 was the biggest month ever for PS5 sales, and, I quote, "Everyone who wants a PS5 should have a much easier time finding one at retailers globally starting from this point forward." Apparently, the supply has been substantially ramping up consistently, for the second half of 2022, and now it's at a good point. And we know now that PlayStation 5 sales have topped 30 million, which is a big number. Now, I'd love to see that number if, it wasn't impacted by COVID and all that, and then the chip shortages and all that, and the scalpers and all that. But still, that's where it's at. Very much worth pointing out. But Sony also did, I know it's a Sony-heavy news week, but they also dropped a quick little teaser look featurette thing at the Gran Turismo 7 movie. I mean, it's just a Gran Turismo movie. I don't know why I said 7. But a Gran Turismo movie starring like Orlando Bloom and the second best Hellboy, David Harbour. That's mean. I shouldn't say that. And it kind of seems like they're going for like a Top Gun Maverick type approach with like, experimenting how they're filming the cars and the actors driving the cars and stuff like that. I don't know. It just sounds cool. Interesting. Neil Blomkamp, the District 9 guy, is directing it, so I'm expecting something kind of weird and different. Or it could be a complete disaster and another failed video game adaptation. I'm still feeling the pain of Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. God. Hey, Last of Us HBO show soon, so we'll see how that goes. But in other news, a little bit of CD Projekt Red news. Another investor lawsuit has been settled. A group of investors filed a class action lawsuit, among a couple, about the whole Cyberpunk 2077 disastrous launch. Those shareholders wanted blood. They smelled blood, they wanted blood, and it seems like they got it. A settlement has just wrapped up for $1.85 million, and there was one last year for the same amount as well. So, a couple $1,000,000 chump change for a big company like CD Projekt Red. I'm sure they felt the heat otherwise, honestly, like looking on social media and stuff like that, but that's where that resolution is at now. If you had heard those headlines back in the day, shareholders are angry and suing. That's what it has resulted now. It's just this kind of like wet fart little story. Now, one story I'm very excited about, if we're talking about like 2023 stuff coming, the creator of Shadow of Colossus and Ico, Fumito Ueda, him and his new development studio, which has gotten funding by one of the big guns, by Unreal and Epic, is apparently going to finally announce something in 2023. I am very excited about that. I like the way he visualizes and creates games, and with a new team and seemingly a good budget behind them, I'm expecting something good. Imagine they just did Shadow of the Colossus 2. Imagine a sequel to that game. What would that even... That would never happen.
You're the Colossus.
You're the Colossus now.
Squish the
Just step on the little man. Yeah, that'd be.
What's that guy's name again? Like Fart?
No, it's Wander. Shout out to Famitsu for getting that interview. Famitsu Ueda's next game. Very excited to see what that could be. It could be anything. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. But actually, let me know what you're thinking about all these stories in the comments down below. From PlayStation at CES, like with their Leonardo controller, the look at the Gran Turismo movie, PlayStation VR news, which we didn't have a chance to cover too much, but it is worth pointing out that they announced VR support for stuff like Gran Turismo 7 and a slate of launch games that we'll be talking about more closer to release. What do you think about the next Star Wars game from Massive? What are you expecting from that? That time travel game, is that something you're into if you're a survival game player? But also The Day Before. Where are you at with that? I threw a bunch of opinion out there. I'd love to hear yours. But really, let's talk about any of this stuff down in the comments. We'll be down there as much as possible. Like I always say, things get a little crazy. So if you want to yell at me directly, find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jake Baldino and my other YouTube channel just called Jake Baldino. But thank you guys for being here. Let's get another year going. 2023, the train never stops rolling ever. So thanks for watching. Clicking the like button helps us out legit. So thank you. But I'm Jake Baldino. See you guys next time. Pizza's on me. Have a good weekend.